Hello everyone, and welcome back to This Week in Elder Scrolls Online, episode 19. I'm your host Rob with MMORPG.com. While I predicted last week that we'd get our big announcements on veteran rank changes at QuakeCon, it would appear that some of those changes are starting to make their way into the game right now. We learned about these in a post titled The Road Ahead that came out earlier this week. There was also a video that came out that showed off a lot of those new features that were talked about in The Road Ahead. That said, let's dive right into this week's news. QuakeCon is in Dallas from July 17th through 20th. Most events related to the Elder Scrolls Online will be held on Friday, July 17th. At that time, ZOS will have their own panel, and they'll also have hands-on and a Q&A at their booth. The Future of ESO panel, where senior developers will talk about their different responsibilities and what they're working on, Creative Director Paul Sage will present an update on changes coming to the veteran system. There will also be a community meet and greet, PvP tournaments, and trials, but let's be honest, most of us really care about the vet rank changes. EU, ZOS is finally bringing you the love. Apparently you're getting closer and closer to actually having a specific date for the migration of the EU mega server to the Frankfurt data center. At this time, it looks like it's going to happen in the last week of July or the first week of August. Good luck. On the veteran rank systems, I'm going to read this one verbatim from their letter and then present you with my thoughts. We've been listening to your feedback about ESO's veteran rank content. Some of the issues are that it's too much of a departure from the 1 to 50 experience, it's much more grindy, it can be too difficult, and the rewards don't match the effort you have to put in to progress. I'm very happy to say that we'll be making a series of announcements, starting at QuakeCon, that will address problems with the veteran system in ESO, leading to a much more compelling, high-level PvE experience for everyone. In the interim, we've implemented some balance changes to content post-50 zones that will make it much more like the content from levels 1 to 50. Our goal is to remove the feeling of I have just hit a wall of difficulty that many of you have commented on. You'll be able to solo much more easily. One of the guiding principles of our veteran gameplay was to encourage people, not force them, to group. We wanted people to be able to solo to max level, but we still wanted you to participate in group content. This principle was the reason we made our post-50 zones more difficult. We wanted you to get together with others to take on tougher challenges, but this hasn't been well received. Many of you love the game you played from 1 to 50, and the veteran level zones are too much of a departure from that experience. We know you want the ability to continue participating in solo content as you progress through veteran ranks. This will occur over time, but the first few phases look like this. Phase 1. Make sure the difficulty in veteran zones ramps up slowly and rarely exceeds what a good player can do on their own. This change came to live servers on July 7th. By the time you read this, you should be able to play veteran content the same way you played from 1 to 50. Phase 2. Remove the veteran point system and have normal experience gains direct the growth of the veteran system. Also, we'll increase the amount of XP granted in PvP. This will happen at some point over the summer as we transition to the new system. Phase 3. Introduce a completely new veteran system based on new character customization and growth mechanics. We'll talk more about this in the near future, especially during QuakeCon, but for now, be aware that we're going to make some much needed changes to post-50 PvE gameplay. The primary reason for making these changes is to ensure that you have meaningful choices in the post-50 PvE game experience that reinforce the design idea that you can play the way you want to play. End read. I saw a comment on one of our articles the other day admonishing ZOS for pandering to casuals by making these changes. The reality of the situation is they are catering to their player base. If you're a power gamer, you're not the majority. This is a smart decision on ZOS's part, and they're going to bring back players, like me, who left once they completed the main story quest. The video footage in this week's episode I shot today after some of the balance changes Paul mentioned in his letter took place. Veteran content feels much more like the original content. Hitting a mob 20 times to kill it instead of 5 times wasn't challenging, it was boring. I for one welcome this change. Update 3 is going to bring some guild enhancements. Apparently around ZOS they're calling it the Guild Extravaganza. They wanted everybody to know that these changes came about as results of people posting on forums, social media, and Reddit. First up on their list of changes is management. Guild leaders can create, delete, and promote guild ranks. Guilds can have the 10 ranks of membership, each of which can have its own icon. Bank. Guild leaders can set permissions to allow members to withdraw gold from the guild bank based on their rank. Store updates. Anyone in your alliance can browse your guild store in Cyrodiil if your guild owns a keep. Traders. The Gold Coast Trading Company will establish kiosks through the cities of Tamriel. The merchants running the kiosk can be hired by guilds on a weekly basis. Still not a fan of this one, but I'm willing to see how it works out. Heraldry. Guild leaders can design guild heraldry for their guilds. If you have 10 or more members, each guild member can purchase and wear a tabard emblazoned with the guild's chosen colors and crest. There are 250 colors, 63 backgrounds, and 136 crests that can be mixed and matched to form guild heraldry. And they look pretty sharp, as you can see in the video that's going in the background here. Surprise, surprise, they're still working on builds and balance. Werewolves, apparently they still don't have enough love. Templars, apparently you have too much love. Dragon Knights, guess what? You're getting reviewed. Apparently you're fun to play, and you still feel powerful. And they're continuing to make adjustments to the Nightblade. We believe that we've done so far has helped, but there may be more on the way. Essentially, Nightblades, you still need buffs. They know it. Quiet down, quit crying. They talk a little bit about itemization and rewards. They said one of the most fun reasons to play games like ESO is to obtain cool rewards. They understand that. They're going to go ahead and they're going to look at itemization. They're also going to find easier ways for people to collect sets that they want to collect. Not just start spamming chat saying, hey, do you have the boots to these frost things? Because I have the rest of them and I can't find the boots. Fun with armor dyes. You'll see in the video behind us that there are many different colors to choose from. Not all of them will be available to begin with. Some of them will be available through achievements. So that's it for this week, folks. Let's continue the conversation on social media. You can find me on Twitter at Grakulen, Grakulen. As always, thanks for listening. Until next week, have a great one.